Hello friends, you're with the Lonesome Gamer, and I'm still playing Arkham Horror, and I was really confident at the beginning of the last video that I could win that, and it looked fantastic, but I had a few of the worst turns ever, I guess. So at the moment I managed to close 5 gates. But because I've drawn 3 times in a row the wrong card, that nasty card that in the end that killed then the Patrice. Yeah, so I lost her, and my whole strategy was basically built around her ability, giving other people the clue tokens. So the big problem now is that good old Roland is in the city of the Great Race, but has not enough clue tokens to seal the gate when he comes back. In addition to that, because we had to place 2 Doom tokens during the last turn, there is only 1 more gate allowed to open, or 1 more Doom token allowed to show up, and then the great old one will wake up. Okay, so we have now, as a new investigator, Michael McLean, the gangster. As a soldier in the O'Banion gang, Michael didn't really believe in all this voodoo mumbo-jumbo around town. Or at least he didn't until the night of the foreman job, when he saw fast Louis Farrell pulled screaming into the river by a scaly green creature. As they say, seeing is believing, and Michael is starting to believe. Now he has gathered his belongings together in the room that he rents at Mars' boarding house. Louis was a friend of his, and he won't rest until he finds out what's happening in his town and avenges his body. Okay, so here we got his miniature, and he starts at Mars' boarding house. He starts with dynamite, pretty useful, I guess. The Tommy gun, even more useful. And he ended up with some strange, interesting random possessions. First one, this here, the illuminated manuscript. Exhaust and spend 2 movement points to make a lore -1 check. If you fail, nothing happens. If you succeed, you lose 1 sanity and may either draw 1 skill but discard this card, or gain 1 clue token and keep this card. Now that is at the moment a very useful item, although his problem is that he only has 3 sanity. In addition to that, he has this Mythos lore, which means he has 1 less sanity, but he can exhaust this thing instead of spending a clue token. That is really good. Okay, so the situation is now the following. Basically, the game could be over now any turn. If we draw a card which forces us to place 2 clue tokens, it's over. And by the way, this guy is not to beat. It's just too strong. So that means we gotta hurry, and we gotta be really fast. The problem is that she's kind of stuck in the curiosity shop because the mummy is right outside the shop. This guy is lost in time and space. This guy is in another world but can't seal the gate. And he just starts right away. So my idea is now to move with Michael here to the Historical Society. And during that movement, I'm going to try to read the tome. And if I'm lucky and I'm successful, I'm not very smart though, I can get an additional clue token from that. And by the way, I also start with $8, but that doesn't help terribly. Okay, so, but then I would lose also a sanity, which would bring me down to only 1 sanity. So there's a big risk then. Still, if I grab these 3 clue tokens in the Historical Society and get another one with this, I already have 4, which means I can then use my Mythos lore to get 5 clue tokens overall and close the gate. So I'm going to move in here. Then someone has to kill the Ithian, and that's going to be Roland's job. And then I'm going to move here, and I have another chance to read the book if I don't make it in the first round. And then I can move in there, go through the other world, end up here, seal the gate. That would cost me 4 turns. If nothing unexpected happens. Do I have that many turns? Hard to tell. I mean, if things go well, I might actually. I mean, there are already a lot of these gates sealed. Some gates are open, 4 gates are open, so there are not too many spaces left where gates can actually open, but it's definitely it's going to be very, very close, and I think if I am forced to bet, I guess I'm going to lose that thing. But yeah, we never know. So I say we start. First player is now Mark Harrigan. Okay, so we start by drawing a card from the deck here. Okay, we got to discard all the cards once again. So, wow, this is really nasty. Okay, and then Mark is now standing lost in time and space. Roland, he moves back to the city of the Great Race, and Gloria, she tries to sneak past the mummy. That's going to be hard, and by the way, I want to give her with the Carcosan page. Roland gives her the map of Arkham, which gives her +1 speed because she's terribly slow. So, or allows her to get an additional movement point. So that means now she's got a movement of 3 and a sneak value of 2. If she tries to pass here, she's had 1 die to do that test. So let's hope for the best here. And she didn't do it, which is definitely a problem. By the way, I think I should have checked for the horror check first. That would have been a -2. We got a will of 3, so that's also only 1. Okay, I did that. Anyway, I'm gonna take 2 damage from that missed sneaking action. So I'm down at 2 at the moment, and I'm pretty sure I will be knocked out by the mummy here. Okay, my problem is the mummy is physical resistant and magical resistant. So even if I use my spells or something, I could use that spell, have a very, very little chance then to kill her, but that would cost me 2 sanity. So I think I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm simply going to get knocked out by the mummy. It's a -2, so I have 0 fight dice. So that means I end up here at St. Mary's Hospital and draw an injury card. Nerve damage. Anytime you lose stamina, the amount of stamina lost is increased by 1. Wow, that's great if you only have a sanity or a stamina of 4. Okay. Not that good, but hey. I think it was the only way to get out of here. And I think, actually, because of this endlessly breeding, we have to play, each time an investigator is reduced to 0 stamina, plays a clue token. Yeah, so we gotta place a clue token here now. Okay. And then finally it's Michael McGlenn. So he moves here to the Historical Society, takes the 3 tokens and tries to read the book. So we got a lore -1 check here. He's got a lore of 3. So that means he's got 2 dice. And easy. He did that easy. So we lose 1 sanity and gain 1 clue token. That is good. So clue token wise, he could actually now close a gate or seal a gate even. But we still have to make it, of course, through the other world here. I also thought about, for example, that Roland could have used his Carcosa and Page to get the illuminated manuscript and then simply 3 turns in a row read the thing and get a clue token anytime without moving and just remaining there in the woods. The problem is, though, that you lose 1 sanity every time you read that, and that would simply drive him insane, so that idea won't work. Okay, so we come now to the encounter phase, and the only one who has an encounter is Michael at the Historical Society, and he draws from the expansion the 2nd card. Let's see what that is. Gosh. Okay, it's this one here. Yeah. A representative of the society is visiting a historic Arkham home to pick up old photos of the neighborhood and invites you to tag along. If you accept, move to the unnameable and draw 2 cards, encountering 1 card of your choice and discarding the other. Yeah, that's something we can't do, because then, well, that's tricky. That is actually interesting. I mean, the thing is, if I move in here, I'd get another clue token. Wow, that would be actually 2 clue tokens. That would be pretty awesome. My idea is I could then move here to the Plateau of Lang, trying to close this gate. Or the Dreamlands. Yeah, it's going to be the Plateau of Lang probably, which is not that easy to do, but still, I mean, it's tempting. It really is. It really is. So just in case I should lose a clue token or something, then I'm still fine, simply because I have more than enough then. On the other hand, if a monster moves into the merchant district, I'm in trouble, because I simply cannot sneak by then. Here, well, actually I could, but I'm not so bad in sneaking, but I only have a focus of 1, so that doesn't really work out. Yeah. Here in this area, Roland can clean the way for me. So I guess in the end, I gotta stay here. It's a shame, but every turn counts, and it is not unlikely that I will be stopped in the merchant district if I end up here at the unnameable now. Okay. So then we draw a Mythos card. And now, yeah, the game could be over now. And it is. It is. Yeah, that's it. It's the Innsmouth. 2 Doom tokens. End of the game. That's a shame. It really is. No, actually, wait a minute. That's another rumor. Yeah, I think still that the gate opens. And I think I can ignore the rumor. But I think I cannot ignore the card and simply draw another one or something. I'm pretty sure that's it. That's a shame, it really is. Let me check the rules here. Yeah, that's exactly what happens actually. The Doom tokens will be placed, the rumor is ignored, but yeah, that's the end. Which is a shame, because it would have been great to simply play it on and, you know, just continue a little bit, but yeah, that's the game here. And I think we can definitely say that we were horribly unlucky during the last 4 turns. And now this guy will actually awaken. Okay. Now, what are the odds? Well, all allies are returned to the box. That doesn't make a big difference here. But okay, this guy goes away. It's kind of interesting to see that the terror level is still at 0, and we never had even a monster at the outskirts. Okay, and the problem is that he's physical immune, magical immune. So, I mean, basically we can just fight him with our bare hands. And yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. So that means that I can bring up this thing 1 space during the upkeep phase of the final battle. There we go. Now let's see, Mark Harrigan is first. Damn it. So that means he's got 1 die. And it's a hit. Hey, wow. Okay, that's a hit. Roland, he's got the +1, the wrestling. He's going to wrestle with this sucker. So it's he's got 2 dice then, and he can re-roll a 1. Okay, so hey, another hit. Gloria is too weak. It's a -3 modifier. She only has a combat value of 3. And Michael McLean is at the moment at 4, so that means we can roll 1 die and no success. Okay, and the attack of Quachil Utaos is simple. He touches the first player who ages to dust and blows away in the wind and is devoured. So that means Mark is gone. And we can roll a few more dice and game will be over pretty soon now. We got 2 dice for Roland. And that's another hit. And by the way, Michael can now, during the next focus phase, increase his fight ability one step. So he can now also roll 2 dice. And, well, there goes Roland. And now, in the last turn, it's going to be Michael again. He can increase this by 1 more. So he's at least at 3 dice now, which is not going to be good enough to kill the guy, especially if he rolls like that. There goes Gloria, and in the end it's just Michael standing there fighting this guy. There goes Michael. That's it. That's the end of the game. That was a very short video. And yeah, now the end was a little disappointing. But I think the game was fantastic. It was so great. It was so cool. Once again, Arkham showed his real cruelty here. I thought I had everything completely under control. I mean, seriously, it looked so good. We sealed 5 gates. Doomtrack wasn't too bad for a long time at least. Everything seemed fine. Innsmouth was under control. And then basically, I think in 4 or 5 turns, the game went from a clear victory to a lost game. I mean, yeah, about 4 turns ago or so, I would have said, I'm going to win that in 4 turns. Instead, it's lost now. That's Arkham Horror. It really is, and that's why I love this game so much. Still, it didn't felt unfair, like, for example, Eldritch Horror sometimes does. Yeah, what can I say? It's still one of my favorite games. It's absolutely mind-blowing. And yeah, I'm looking forward to play it again. So yeah, I hope to see you on the next video or on lonesomegamer.com. Bye.